What's going on, you guys? So I kind of just wanted to make a trading video setup for the week, kind of pairs that I'm going to be looking at, and trade setups that I'm looking at going forward. I like to do this on Sundays before the market opens so I can get a good idea of what everything's looking like, and then once the market starts to move, I could start to get into the setups that I've taken a look at previously in the day. So first thing I kind of want to talk about is the dollar index. The US dollar has just been on a tangent since 2021, halfway through mid-year. Uh, really hasn't slowed down. I mean, we've had some pullbacks, which is expected when you're looking at any asset that's moving. So we've had some pullbacks, and I don't have any inkling that the U.S. dollar is going to be slowing down anytime soon. After Jerome Powell spoke on Friday, he kind of started, I guess, in a simple way. He basically stated that their main concern is inflation. They're not afraid of a recession. Their main concern is inflation, and they're going to continue to raise interest rates to try to battle inflation and get it to slow down and get it to a good working pace rather than a consistent growth pace, which we've been seeing over the last couple months, last couple quarters. So, with that being said, I personally see the dollar not slowing down and continuing to move to the upside, and I will be looking at long trades for the US dollar, and potentially some shorts on the indices. So, I mean, we can kind of see on the NASDAQ 100. We had a good trade on Friday morning for the NASDAQ 100. You can see this was our trade. I'll drop this down to the hour. Originally, the trade was set for about 2,800 pips, I believe, and it ended up rolling for 5,313 pips. So the NASDAQ completely crumbled after Jerome Powell spoke. If we pull this out to the dollar, I do see that we've come into a zone. So if we pull this right here, so opening up tonight, even Monday morning, we could see the dollar index, or not the dollar index, the NASDAQ move maybe back up into this zone and continue to push down. But I guess we'll wait and see what we have going on once the market opens. I really won't be looking to take any trades on this until, I don't know, maybe Tuesday morning. I kind of want to see how it reacts after such a big push to the downside. We do have on the daily a head and shoulders right here. You can see that is working out. So we've just pushed down past the neckline, which is right here. So we pushed below the neckline, and now we kind of just have to see what we want to do, because we have seen price push down, continuously make lower lows and lower highs all the way throughout here. But recently, we've seen price push above the previous lower high and come up to kind of test the lower high that was just before our previous. So we'll see what happens. We do have price sitting in pretty crucial zone right here. So we kind of need to see and wait. Are we going to continue to push back up to the upside and create a new higher high and move more, or are we going to see price continue down to the downside? So I guess it's just a waiting game. We'll see what happens today at 5 when we open up. We got about 4 hours, and then we'll see how things play out on Monday, and we'll look to get into some trades on Tuesday. Moving into Forex, like I was talking about earlier, I do want to see price continue down on the Euro USD, and I'd like to see the US dollar, and I do believe I'm not going to be taking any shorts against the US dollar currently. So for the Euro, I would like to see it move lower and the US dollar move higher. So right now, we're sitting in quite a crucial zone right here. We have a lot of tests for resistance, and we have a lot of tests for support. But what I would like to see right here is price continue moving down, give us some sort of retest up in this zone, and then I'll be looking to enter some shorts here for the Euro US dollar, as I am very bullish on the US dollar. I'm not very bullish on the Euro, so this is the trade setup that I'm going to be looking to take potentially tonight during London, or even tomorrow morning during New York. So moving on into some more US dollar pairs. When we look at the Japanese yen, we do have the US dollar in front of the Japanese yen, which means that this we will be looking to take some longs on the US dollar, whereas the euro US dollar we're looking to take some shorts, because we have the euro up front here and the US dollar on the backside. So this is technically, the euro is the main currency and we are trading it against the US dollar. And then for USDJPY, we have US dollar as the main currency and we're trading it against the Japanese yen. So I will be looking to take some longs here on the US dollar. We have a clear zone here where price is currently testing, and pretty simple trade setup, honestly. I'm just looking for a break, a retest, back down into this zone, and then price to push higher. For a long position, I guess I would be looking for something like this, price to retest. I'd have my stop loss somewhere down here, and then take profit. Honestly, I wouldn't even really set a take profit for this. I would like to see 100 pips out of this move. But this would be one of the trades where I'm kind of just letting it ride. And every time price moves back for a pullback and then continues to the upside, I'll just be moving my stop loss. So if we had something like this happen, as price move to the upside, once we've gotten push back down and then back above this high here, move my stop loss up here. And then once we have a push up and then we start to come back down, once we've pushed higher than this, I'd move my stop loss to here, and so on and so forth. I would continually move my stop loss and let the trade ride as we moved higher. So that's what I'm looking at on the USDJPY. So I'll keep this marked up for myself. Give me something to look at tonight during London, and then tomorrow during the New York Open. Same thing for the USDCAD. We've got price just testing this recent high we have over here. So same thing. I'd like to see price move up, retest, and then continue higher. I'd looking for an entry somewhere around here. If we come over to Forex Factory, we can see that Tuesday we have the Flash Services PMI for the US dollar, so we could potentially see the moves start to happen for the US dollar on Tuesday. We might see some movement down and then up and then back down, but it's all kind of just a waiting and reacting game. So we'll see what happens Monday morning into Tuesday with this. For the US dollar Swiss franc, I mean, it's really the same thing across the board for all of these pairs. I will be looking for literally the exact same thing. Price to move up higher, come back down, retest, grab an entry there, and then continue to ride the trade out. If we look at GBPUSD, same trade, just the inverse. We have the Great British Pound in the front and the US dollar in the back. So Great British Pound versus the US dollar. So we will be looking for shorts. All I'm doing is looking for price to break below. Give me a retest here. I'll catch an entry, and then we'll be looking to sell. The Australian dollar versus the US dollar. I'm not too fond of this, to be quite honest. We do have somewhat of a trend to the upside and then a huge sell-off here. Price is kind of choppy, so I would like to see price break below here before I start to get any trades. So price does need to come lower for me, and then come even lower, and then retest here before I look for any entries on here. The New Zealand dollar, we've already gotten that break. So we had previous support here. We've broken through, and now this will be a resistance. So what I'm looking for on the New Zealand dollar is the price to come back up into here. And once we see price come back up into here, I'll be looking to take some entries to the short side. So really that's it. that's what I'm looking at personally. I'm really only going to be looking at US dollar pairs. I know I do have all of these set up here, and we could potentially look at some of these trades, but we don't really have news for the Japanese yen or the New Zealand dollar this week, so or the Canadian dollar for that matter. These are some good technical trades, so we will probably have a technical week when it comes to these, but I'm more focused on the US dollar now and what it is going to be doing for the next week. We could take a look at the GBPJPY. This is still a little choppy for me, so I really wouldn't like it. Euro GBP, same thing, pretty choppy, a lot of sideways movement, so I'm not really looking at this too much. But yeah, let's keep an eye out this week for the Euro, the Great British Pound, and the US dollar. We do have some news for the New Zealand dollar on Thursday, but this isn't something that I'm going to be looking at too much. So main focus this week, the US dollar. We do have price trading below parity on the euro and the US dollar. Parity is when two currencies are the exact same price. So you can see right here. Let's put this in. That at this one mark where they were an even currency, we did have price trying to test that. We did get a little bit of a breakthrough, and we did push back down to the downside. So we are trading lower than parity on the euro US dollar. And yeah, I mean, pretty simple trade setups this week. I will be updating in the Discord for the rest of the week and keeping everybody updated on the entry, stop losses, and take profits. I hope this was good and informational for you. We'll be looking to do a lot more of these. We're trying to get live a lot more for the community, so everybody gets a better idea of what we're looking at before we actually send those trade setups. Thanks for watching. I hope that this helped out, and we'll be talking to you guys a little bit more throughout the week. Thanks.